Welcome to Open Source Options. Let me show you today how you can take a satellite image and clip it down to a smaller area. To get started, we're going to pull in some Landsat satellite imagery. I have a previous video on how to download and obtain this imagery if you're interested in that or don't know how to do it. But I'm just going to skip ahead because that's already documented. So let's go ahead. I have this Landsat image here. I'm going to grab these 7 bands and pull them in. Okay, so we see we have these 7 bands here. They're now showing up in my layers. We can just minimize these to get a better view of what we have. I'm not going to worry about describing these 7 bands right now. I'm just going to show you how you can clip this image. Now, the important thing here is if you want to clip an image, you usually want to clip more than 1 band. If we just clip a single band, we have to go through and do this individually. We'll have to do the clip individually for each band. But there's a much easier way to do this. I think the first thing you want to do is to get all your data together in a virtual raster and then clip that virtual raster one time. And that's exactly what I'm going to demonstrate to you here. So let's go ahead and create that virtual raster. We can come up to the menu, go to raster, go to miscellaneous, build virtual raster. That will pop up this dialog here. Now we're going to go and we're going to select our inputs. I want to select all these bands. I want to make sure they're in the correct order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Select all. Okay. Now I want to place each input file into a separate band. For the resolution, we can select average. These should all be the same resolution. And now we're going to leave the defaults. I'm going to save this. Sure, we'll save to a file so we can have this for later. And if I go to my downloads and I want to find Landsat L2, and this is the image 0930, so it's this one here. I'm just going to save it in this folder and we will name it. Let's go LC09. We'll just grab this here, but we'll change the end of this. So we'll call this VRT at the end. And now we'll save that. So we'll have the same file name as everything else. That way we'll know which image it belongs to. So we can click save. And now we can click run. And this should run really quickly. And as you can see, it did. So let's close that. Let's slide this guy up to the top. Let's turn off all of these. You can see we have a very interesting color combination here. We can update this. Red, this should go 4, 3, 2, and now we have a true color image. Now, let's go in and find the area of this image we're interested in. Let's say we want to focus on this reservoir of these agricultural fields. We're not interested in anything else, and so we want to clip this image down so it's easier to work with. Now, the way we can do that, there's a few ways. But let's go do the easiest one first. So we can go to raster, extraction, and we want to clip raster by extent. And so here we're going to clip this to a square or to a rectangular area. And there are a few ways to set up this clipping extent. And we can find them by clicking on the drop down here. We can calculate from a layer. So this will give us the extent of a layer. So this will be a rectangular shape calculated from a layer. We can calculate from a layout map. So if we have a layout map in our layouts, we can use that. We can calculate from a bookmark. I currently don't have any. I'll show you that real quick. Let's make a bookmark. Let's close this down and let's just zoom in here to the area we like. And let's say it's the area that is filling the screen right now. And so what we can do is we can come into our browser and we can go over here to our spatial bookmarks. We can make a new spatial bookmark, and you can see it's doing this right here. And we can call this our extent, and we can click save. Now, if we go in, back to raster, extraction, clip raster by extent, our clipping extent, We can calculate from a bookmark, and we have our extent here. When we click that, you'll notice that it updates our clipping extent with those coordinates. Pretty easy. The next thing we can do, and that's if you want to use the same extent over and over again, that's going to be the easiest way to do it. The next thing we can do is if we just want to draw, we can click use current map canvas extent, or we can click on draw on map canvas. And if we want to make this a little more custom, we can come down and just draw this rectangle like that. And now we have that extent there. Let's go ahead and run with that extent. And so the next thing we'll need to do is just come in and I'm going to save this to a temporary file. And we'll just click run. So that says it's finished, so we can close this. Let's go take a look. There's our clipped. Let's turn that off. And now you can see we have this clipped image. And if we change our colors to 4, 3, 2, so it's true color, you can see now we're just looking at this little area, and that was super easy to do. And now we can turn this image back on, and there you can see that we have the other image. Now you're noticing some color differences here. And the reason for that is you notice how our contrast enhancement is stretched min to max. Well, now that we've clipped these bands to a smaller area, they have different min and max values, so that contrast changes because we're stretching it across different minimums and maximums. So that's why you're going to see some differences there. All right, so this is a pretty short tutorial. That's how you can clip a raster or clip a satellite image to an extent in QGIS. Now, I have free courses coming. I know I've been saying that for a lot of videos. I've started on the first free course, which is going to be GIS Foundation or GIS Fundamentals. I'm not sure on the title yet, but it's going to be available on opensourceoptions.com. So go ahead and you can sign up to receive notifications at opensourceoptions.com. And then you'll get notified when that course comes out, or you can just keep an eye out. It is coming soon. If you have questions, if there's something I didn't cover here that you want to see, please leave a comment below. Let me know. I have another video coming that will show you how to do this with a shapefile, so how to clip it to an irregular area that's not rectangular. Again, thanks for watching. Enjoy your day, and I'll see you back here soon.